Get somebody beside you, tell them it's good to be here. I know I'm going to be a little bit unorthodox, all right? I'm going to be a little bit unorthodox for everybody in the building, but we're going to do what we came here to do. I asked Principal Ball now, I said, am I preaching or just speaking? Because they're two different things to me. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of speaking to this class on tonight, on this afternoon, and hopefully this message that we will convey to this class will also reach the hearts of all those that are here on tonight. So to the esteemed pastor of this great church, Principal Ball, to all the faculty members of Raglan High School family, to all the family and friends of the 2024 graduating class of Raglan High School, I am more than humbled and grateful to be here on this momentous occasion to share just a few words to this awesome graduating class of 2024. While I pondered long and hard about what I should say to this class and to this community, tonight the Lord has taken me to this specific passage of scripture. In the book of Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, verse number 11, you will find these words. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." If I was going to tag a thought or a subject or a text or topic to this scripture tonight, I would tag it for this graduating class, whose plan is it? Whose plan is it? My graduating class, I want you to understand tonight as I try to relay this message in a spiritual manner, but yet in a manner where that you can understand it and take it with you in your lives and in the path that God has you on. Christians often quote this scripture alone without reading the whole chapter of Jeremiah. And sometimes when we read this book, we get a misunderstanding of what it's really saying. If we understand its historical and literary context within the book of Jeremiah, I want you to understand that you may discover that it takes on a much deeper meaning than the words that we actually say. One that's more relevant and even more powerful for our lives on tonight. Having a full meaning and understanding of this context of Jeremiah 29 and 11 will help us avoid the tendencies to read our own desired interpretations into this great text, rather than understanding the Bible as intended by God. When Jeremiah, graduating class of 2024, when Jeremiah speaks in this passage of scripture, he's addressing his fellow Jerusalemites when they were sent into exile in Babylon. Then they are here now under the enemy's control. And during this period, there were many emotional and physical stressors affecting the followers of God. Ladies and gentlemen, on tonight, I need you to understand as you move from the comfort of your mother and father's arms, while you move from your grandparents' warm embraces and from the halls of a safe place called Raglan High School, and when you move from your community that you called home for so many years, where you know in spite of all of the frustrations and difficulties that you face, you were surrounded by people that loved you, cared for you, and would embrace you no matter what you have done. Now you are here in a place in this pinnacle moment of your life that you are now ready to go out into life. And while you're going out into life, you're going to meet some giants, you're going to meet some Goliaths, and you're going to meet some enemies along the way. But yet Jeremiah is saying to you on tonight, don't be discouraged, don't be dismayed, for God knows the plans that he has for you. Yes, graduating class, it is now time to embark on a path that you never traveled. It's now time to go to territories that you've never crossed and to meet people unlike you've ever experienced. I need you to begin tonight asking yourself, now whose plan is it really? Is it my plan or is it God's plan? God tasked Jeremiah with delivering a message that his people will have to live and prosper for 70 years in a city that was not theirs. Additionally, the city was in enemy territory, which didn't make things any easier. Graduating class, many of you are about to move to cities. You're about to move to territories and even about to go off to schools, universities, and colleges that are not like where you come from. Yet you must trust in a higher being other than yourself. Many of you may find that where you go, you will encounter enemies to what you have learned here in a community called Raglan. But I'm here to say to you that you are not alone. Yes, my sisters and brothers, graduating class, the people were asked to do the impossible, and it makes no sense when you are in a place and you are surrounded by people who you don't know, you're surrounded by people who you cannot trust, and now all of a sudden you begin to doubt your very existence, and you begin to doubt what it is that I'm doing. Why am I here? Why am I where I'm at? Why did I choose this particular vocation? Why did I choose this university? But I need you to ask yourself a question again. Whose plan is it really? Well, the people are saying this. I know the plans I have for you. God was reassuring the people that their faith in him would be rewarded. He was not saying he'll swoop down and make everything easy for them. Sometimes, my sisters and brothers, the problem that we have in life is that we have become what I like to call a microwave generation. We want things now, we want things instantly, and we want things when we want it. But I need you to understand that when God has prepared a place for you, sometimes you got to go through some divine delays. Sometimes you got to go through some setbacks, and you got to go through some obstacles along the way. But the one thing that you must understand is that what God has for you, nobody can take away from you. Well, the Lord is omnipotent. He's an omnipotent being. He knows everything that will or won't happen to us. And even though some things may seem horrible or troubling for us at the time, I need you to have faith that God's plan for us is what's best. When we're thinking about what's best for us and what God's plan is for us, and when we look at Jeremiah 29:11, and although Jeremiah 29:11 is the most popular verse when talking about God's plan for us, I need you to understand that sometimes in life you have to cross-reference some things, because things sometimes don't make sense all by itself. Well, when I began to cross-reference this scripture, I found that in Proverbs 19 and 21, it said, listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end you will be counted among the wise. My graduating class, I need you to understand, don't be so to a place where you can't accept constructive criticism. Don't be so in a rush to get to a place that you've never been, where you won't listen to anybody who's already been there before you. You got to understand that where you are going, God has already been. Where you're going, God has already put people in your circle that have been there that can help you along the way. No matter how extravagant our plans may seem, God is in control because his purposes always prevail. Romans 8:28 says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for the good for those who are called according to his purpose. When you love God, he will call you to his purpose. That's why some of us refer to our professions as a calling. It is a call to fulfill God's devotional purpose for us. Well, class of Raglan 2024, somebody in the audience may be saying he has spent so much time on tonight. And many are saying, is he about finished? So let me move to a climax. Graduates, you have a very special place in the community's heart here in Raglan, as it has watched you grow into the people that you are. You have grown into leaders through your academics, through your behavior, through your love for family and friends. As you graduate from Raglan High School, it marks a momentous occasion in the journey of every student that's here tonight, signifying the triumphant passage from the realm of high school to the realm of adult life. You possess the ability to navigate people and also to navigate situations. I would like to encourage you tonight to move forward and move toward your dreams and step out into the world knowing that you have been gifted for this season. You withhold so much of yourself sometimes because of limitations that you put on yourself and on God. But I need you to know tonight that you serve a big God, that you have a big God who's always there with you. The Bible said that, lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the world. You got to be able to stand in the face of adversities and tell adversities that I serve a God who got my back. It's not time to let everyone see the greatness. It is now time to let everyone see the greatness that lies within you. Now is the time, graduating class of 2024, to press toward the mark of the higher calling upon your life. For God knows the plans he has for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and an expected end. I need you to continue lighting up the hallways of schools and life. I need you to continue to grow into intellectual stars you have been destined to be, knowing that you did it with pride and guidance from your family and your friends and God. Theodore Roosevelt once said, believe you can and you are halfway there. There are no mistakes in your makeup or your learning. Arthur Ashe once said, begin from your current position, stand where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Yes, you have persevered so much, and still you stand. You have fought with your internal self, and yes, you have even won some battles. Today is only a prelude to who you shall become and what you shall accomplish. We are all excited tonight as many have watched you move through your life cycle, through a series of major changes, and you've still been able to possess a smile. You still have the tenacity, the strength, and the willpower to become more than anyone else around you. Some of you are about to embark upon journeys that no one else in your family has even embarked upon. Congratulations to you all. My graduating class, I want you to understand that one day a long time ago, I was told something that went like this. Hate has 4 letters, but so does love. Enemies has 7 letters, but so does friends. Lying has 5 letters, but so does truth. Failure has 7 letters, but so does success. Cry has 3 letters, but so does joy. Negativity has 10 letters, but so does positivity. You always have a choice to choose the better side of anything or any situation that you're going through. But I need you to keep on asking yourself, whose plan is it? There are many people, Tyler Perry, the great author and the great movie writer once said, Denzel Washington once said, there are many people that come into our lives like boosters of a rocket. If you ever watched a rocket go into space, when it reaches a certain altitude, the boosters fall off. It may not be your plan for them to follow you. It may not be the plan that God has for you, for everybody in in your life, in your circle, to go where you're going, because everybody can't go to the altitude that God is trying to take you to. Every now and then you may find that some friends begin to fall off during the weird times of your life. When things seem to be a heartache and pain, you may find out that friends are far and in between. That's all right, because you need to understand it's not your plan, it's God's plan for you. It's not what you desire, it's what God has already ordained for your life. Yes, everyone cannot reach where you're going. If you're destined to follow a certain path, no one can hinder you. No matter the manner in which you completed your education here in Raglan, what matters is that you did it. Let me remind you tonight, as I begin to come to a close, that in life you will experience divine delays. They are not obstacles, but they are stepping stones toward divine appointments. Divine delays are not without purpose. They shape and refine our character. Divine delays deepen our faith, and it aligns us with God's greater plan for our lives. Yes, although delays may test our patience, delays will challenge us, delays will push us to our wits' end, and delays will make us feel like we can't trust people and we can't trust God. They also provide opportunities for growth. Delays provide opportunities for blessings, because it's in the delays that God got a blessing already prepared for you. And delays in the fulfillment of our unique purpose. Let us not lose heart in the face of delays, but instead embrace them as opportunities for God to work in your life. As you continue your journey, hold fast to the assurance that God is sovereign. Hold fast to the assurance that God has already made divine appointments for your life on your behalf. Keep sharing your testimonies and telling your stories to your family and your friends, and one day your own children. These divine appointments will result from delays that can inspire and encourage others. You got to trust in God's timing and be eagerly embracing the divine appointments that God has for you, for He has prepared you and He will lead you to experiences that your mind cannot even imagine. May you walk in faith, knowing that the delays you encounter are not detours, but part of a greater journey orchestrated by a loving and purposeful God. Embrace divine appointments with faith, expectation, gratitude. Witness the transformative power of God's hand in your lives as He unfolds what He has for you. As I close tonight, to the graduating class of Raglan High School, to the principal of Raglan High School, the faculty members, I want to close out tonight with a story that I was once told. I was told about a story that one day the flight there was some passengers that went to the airport, and when they got to the airport, Ethan, they experienced what they call delays. And while they was in the airport, they watched as plane after plane began to take off, and they found themselves, Jabari, still waiting in the airport, and then they kept on waiting. The passengers got more planes in front of them, and they kept sitting and sitting. When they finally got in the air, the pilot came upon the scene, and he said to them, he said, listen, I need you to understand that even though we experience some delays, we're still expected to arrive to our destination on time. And the passengers began to wonder, how are we going to arrive to our destination on time if we've already experienced some delays? I wish I had somebody up up in here that understand what it's like, because the reason they found out was because the scheduler maker had already calculated the potential delays that was coming their way. I want you to look at your classmates tonight and tell your classmates that the delays was already calculated. I need you to look at somebody else and tell them tell your classmates and tell them your delay was already calculated. Your setback was already calculated. Tell somebody your mistakes were already calculated. You don't have to live up to anybody else's standard. It's not their plan, it's God's plan for your life. God has already calculated everything in your life, how it's going to go, how it's going to end. God has already put in the setbacks. He's already put in the brokenness. He's already put in the fact that you're going to have some letdowns. But through your letdowns, be not discouraged, for God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that also shall he reap. I say to you tonight, I wish somebody would scream up in here, I'm going to get on time. I'm going to reach my destination on time. No matter what obstacles I face in college, no matter what obstacles I face in life, I'm going to reach my destination. Goodbye, 12th grade. Greetings to your future. We're excited we played a part. Raglan is excited they played a part in your life. Look at your teacher, look at your principal, and tell them I'm going to face some obstacles, but you have prepared me for the task ahead. You ought to tell them thank you for preparing me. Thank you for equipping me. I'm ready to face the world. I'm ready to face the giants that's coming my way. Why am I ready? Because it's not my plan, but it's God's plan. For he knows the plans that he has for me. Plans to prosper. Lord have mercy. He got plans to prosper you. Plans to give you an expected end. Plans to give you a hope. I wish I said something tonight to help you along your way. I wish I said something tonight to encourage you not to give up, not to give in, but to stand strong upon what the Lord has already divinely orchestrated for your life. Congratulations to the class of 2024 of Raglan High School, and I'm Bishop A.D. Spikes, and I'm out of here.